Conscious of the fact that I'm standing in the way of this entire group on dinner, but I promise I won't take more than maybe 3 or 4 minutes. So firstly, thank you so much everybody for making this possible. I'm assuming some of you must have started from your home or your office, wherever it is, yesterday itself in order to be able to make it here on time. So thank you so much for that as well. I've been reading recently about Howard taxis. I just hope they become commercially viable soon rather than later. It was a tall order really for the groups assembled here today to talk about dissecting the present and balancing now with the next 10 years. In this context, I just wanted to take a step back quickly and look at the immediate past. So this is the second such large format event we are doing in the last few months. The first one was in Mumbai in October last year. But the one prior to that was 4 years in the past, in October 2019. And I think it's anybody's guess as to why there was a 4-year period intervening between these two sessions. But back then too, that session also had a similar theme. I think it was about predicating what's going to happen in the next 5 years and so on and so forth, because I think it was in light of planning commission going away, Niti Aayog taking its place and so on and so forth. So the next 5 years, what does it really hold if you're not going to repeat the same 5 years over and over again? At that point in time, there is no way anybody could have predicted that there is going to be a pandemic in 5 months' time. There's going to be a war in Europe in 2 years, and there is going to be a war in the Middle East in 4 years' time. Obviously, none of those conversations or those predictions could have been made at that time. But what did happen was, there was some people who were saying that India will soon be rank 5 in global GDP terms, possibly 4, maybe even 3. And here we are, and we are within striking distance of that. And somebody else also said that Sensex is going to double in the next 3 or 4 years' time, from 35,000 to about 70,000. And here we are past 70,000 right now, and possibly more as well. And somebody else also said that gone are the days when education and your degrees, etc., used to hold center stage, but education is just vanilla. Going forward, it's just job relevant skills which are catering more towards outcomes that's really going to matter. And again, here we are today, and if anything, it's just only more relevant now than it was back then. So while, of course, there are a lot of things which we couldn't predict, and the world just keeps getting more and more VUCA, as we have seen in the last 4 years, if anything, on the surface, but the fundamental things do remain the same as ever. And foremost of that is the limitless potential of the human spirit. I just wanted to just give a quick data point or an anecdote about what I did recently. We share an embarrassing amount of commonality with chimpanzees. You would have heard it, sure, but 99% of the DNA pool is the same. It's just 1% that is different. It's scientifically proven and tested as well. Yeah. But look at what that 1% has compounded over in the last 12,000 years of civilization. It's just that 1% that makes the difference. Of course, amongst many things, it has a lot of traits, that 1%. But key amongst that is the ability or the skill for mass cooperation, which chimpanzees are incapable of. They can only live in small nomadic groups, and they cannot really live in groups bigger than that. So did we until 10,000 BC, which is largely accepted as the dawn of civilization. A couple of months back, a few months ago, we had this World Cup final, Narendra Modi Stadium, Ahmedabad, more than 1 lakh people. We lost, but still people behaved in a civil way, right? Imagine putting 1 lakh chimpanzees in that stadium. It'll be chaos. That's the end of the world. That's the difference of that 1%. And that's what made all of this possible. And it is that one trait which has resulted in countries with crores of people and companies with lakhs of employees as well, and without which we'll be nowhere. So the single underpinning thing, the common fabric of all of that is people. And it was really fantastic to see over the course of the 3 sessions today that some of those timeless thoughts were brought to the fore as well. I remember some points that really stood out, where that there is no such thing as people strategy and business strategy. They are essentially the same. Absolutely. And I think some of the other people in the second session also said that there is no such thing as job readiness. We were born ready. That's the 1% talking again. And of course, mentors learning more from mentees rather than the other way around, as is the norm. And that's again proof of evolution and adaptability and nimbleness, to your point as well. And last but not the least, sir, I really have to call this out, that dil se vishwas banta hai aur baaton se nahi. So thank you so much for sharing such beautiful nuggets of wisdom from your experience, everybody. Have a great dinner and a good night. Thanks so much once again.